civilizations. Yep. Is the screen visible?
Yes.
Okay, great. So we are going to start with the lesson 1 that we have. That is where we are going to talk about, we are going to look at some paragraphs, or we can say articles from history. Okay, now you know already that whenever you go for the test, the real test, the topic might be from anything, right? We don't know what the exact topic will be. So that is the reason we are practicing, so that you know how to tackle, even if you don't know anything about that subject. Okay, that's the reason we are looking at this topic first. Now, here the main things that we are going to practice is how to skim for main ideas, how to scan for past specific information, and how to guess the meaning of the words from the context. Okay, that's what we are going to practice. Now, first, for a warm up, you have four pictures over here. You have to match them with the uh, description given on the right hand side. Do it quickly. It's a very easy exercise.
The Acropolis is the second picture.
That's correct.
The Great Wall of China is the third picture.
No, it's the third picture. Great Wall of China is this one, the third picture.
Yeah.
Okay. Next.
Empty Village is the last picture.
That's correct.
And the other one is first.
The Sphinx. It's the first one from ancient Egypt. Great. Now you have to tell me, what do you know about these places and their civilizations? Anything that you know. There is not a right or a wrong answer. Okay.
At the Great Wall of China is made to protect their
empire
from other empire from other empires. At the
okay, no worries. Try to make sure that you at least go through them and you know at least basics, because usually in India at least we go through all of these civilizations, so we have a little bit of idea what these civilizations are, and the main thing that you should know is why they are called great and why.
hello.
Yeah, am I audible? Okay. Sorry, yeah. I don't know. I'm in office today. I'm at the institute, so there is some issue. I don't know. I'm just trying to sort it out.
No, don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, so those were the reasons I considered them great. You usually don't. Yeah, am I audible now? Okay, great.
Yes.
Great. Okay, so that's the reason I considered them great. Which place do you want to visit the most and why? Out of the four that we discussed just now.
The most I want to visit is the Great Wall of China because it's enormous,
Mm-hmm.
and I heard that it's visible from the space. Like
Yes, I have
from the
even I
atmosphere.
have heard that. Yes, that's correct. It's so huge that it's visible from space as well. That's great. Okay, let's move to the next part. Here you have a short paragraph which has been given. Okay, you have to read the paragraph and try answering the two questions which have been given over here.
I'm ready.
I have read. Okay, you have read it. Are you able to answer the questions? Tell me the answers.
Yeah. Um, the most important factors were the human were always searching for food and water sources.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the one of the factors were caused by the weather. That's why people movement since early civilization.
Okay, it led people's movement since early civilization. Okay, very good. Next, are there any areas in your country that had early civilizations? Where and what were the key reasons that people moved to these areas?
Um, I don't think that much, but maybe from villages people move to the cities
Mm-hmm.
because cities have more um, de- developing infrastructure
Mm-hmm.
and more opportunities there.
Yeah, but you're talking about the current times, correct? You're not talking about early civilizations.
Yeah,
Okay.
for the current.
Okay, no worries. Okay, moving to the next part. Here we do some vocabulary practice. It's a quick practice that we are going to do. Here you just have to look at the highlighted words. Okay, and try to guess their meaning. Read the sentences, tell me once you're done. You're just going to briefly tell me their meanings. Do not search for the meanings, okay? You are going to tell me the meanings directly first. Done?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know the meaning of all the words? That's agriculture, civilization, emerged, community, and authority.
Yes, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure about emerge.
You're not sure about the word emerged. Okay. But if you look at the sentence, what do you think it means? Mm-hmm.
Where um, emerge like something like to started using or
Mm-hmm. You can also
something
think
like
about it like something which came up, right?
yeah.
Something which came up when smartphones first came up and became part of their daily lives. So that's what the meaning of emerge is. Okay, that is how you try to guess the meaning from the context which it is being used, because during the exam you will not have an access to dictionary, correct? You should not get stuck because of some word. Also you get one question which is for vocabulary. Sometimes you might get two also. It's not necessary that you might know the meaning of that word, correct? You might just have to guess the meaning. Sometimes it doesn't need to be the exact meaning also, because English has two three meanings of one single word, right? So even if you know the meaning, the context in which it is being used might be a little different. That is the reason we need to understand it from the context, and the question would also be framed similarly. What is its closest meaning to, right? In the exam also, the question would be, what does emerge has closest meaning to? And you would be given two three options, and that's where you have to select the correct option. Okay. That's the reason this exercise becomes very important. Now, quickly try to write the words. Try to use the words in the sentence.
The first one is authority.
Authority, correct.
Second one is agriculture.
Correct.
C is community.
Correct.
D, emerge, and the last one, civilization.
Very good. Correct. You understood it. Great. Next, we look at how to find the main idea and how to find the supporting detail. Now, if you remember, we have discussed this when we discussed the reading questions also and when we discussed your speaking as well as writing as well. Your main idea is something that your whole passage or whole article revolves around. Correct? That is your main idea. Say, for example, the paragraph that you read. It was about history. Correct? So, it talked about civilizations, ancient civilizations or older civilizations. So, that is the main theme or main idea that it revolves around. Okay? You will mostly find it in the title or the heading of a passage, or you will find it at the beginning or end of a paragraph or a passage. Okay? What are supporting details? Supporting details are the details which we use to support the main idea, to give more context of it, okay, to give more meaning for it. That's where we use supporting details. Okay, the supporting details will usually accompany the main idea. They're supporting within a paragraph or the passage. Clear? Next, we have the reading skills, which are very, very important for us whenever we do the reading passage. That is, first one is skimming. Skimming is nothing but reading a text quickly to find a general idea or the main idea. Here, we don't read the passage word to word or the paragraph word to word. We will just skim through it quickly to find the main thing that we want for our answer. Okay, this is usually when we are answering the question as well as we start reading. Okay, we're not supposed to read each and every word because that's where we spend a lot of time. Okay, we are supposed to quickly skim through it to get a general idea of what it talks about. So when we are trying to answer the questions, we know what we are reading. Correct? It's not an alien context to us. So, or alien topic to us. So that's why skimming becomes very, very important. Along with that, when you're trying to find the answers also, it becomes important that you skim. You don't read each and every word because again, that's where you will spend a lot of time again. Okay. Now, when you skim, it gives you a better perspective of how to understand the topic of a text before reading for more details. When you are skimming, you do not read every word, but you look for specific details such as the title and the heading of a passage, the bold, italic words or underlined words, right? The first and the last sentences of the paragraphs and the first and the last parts of your paragraph or a passage. That's what you look at when you are skimming. Next thing which is important in reading skills is scanning. Now, what do we mean when we say scanning? Scanning means reading the text quickly for the specific information again. But here we are going to make sure that we pay attention to more words than what we do in skimming. Okay. But again, we are going to try to find specific details that we want, which are mainly your supporting details in the passage, such as definitions, examples, or explanations. Again, over here, you do not read every word carefully, but you scan through them. You look for capital letters if say you're looking for place or a name of a person. Okay. If you're looking for any dates, amounts, time, then you will look at numbers. If you are looking for a specific answer to some keywords, then you will look for those keywords in the passage. Okay, usually a paragraph in TOEFL mainly. So that's how we scan. Okay, when we are looking for specific information. Now here we have a course syllabus. Now what I want you to do is I want you to open this sheet. I have shared this sheet with you in on WhatsApp. Open the sheet at your side so you're able to read it properly. Okay, just open it and try reading. Now, you shouldn't take a lot of time in reading. If you remember, I have told you already. When you do the initial reading, you shouldn't spend a lot of time. So make sure you read it quickly. You scan and skim through it. So that when I ask you questions, you know where to find those answers. Okay?
I did it.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask you a few questions. Okay. What is the purpose of this text?
Um, I introduce history to the class and points that which history topics they will discuss.
Okay, great. Now here you have four options. Which option do you think is correct or the most appropriate?
B.
to present a course plan. That's correct. Very good. Now, read the paragraph 1 of the course description again. What is the most important idea of the paragraph? Again, you have three options. You have to select one option.
Can I select questions?
Sure. Yep.
Is it A?
It is C. What students will learn in the class and a brief introduction to the role of agriculture in the emergence of human communities. Okay. Now, next, number 3. In which part of the paragraphs did you find the main idea? Now, instead of underlining, you will just tell me the paragraph and the part of the paragraph. You can look at the passage at your side.
The main idea is in the first paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Professor tells that they will, the
Correct.
students will learn about the start of human communities, conditions, and
Correct. So
civilization.
first three sentences give you the main idea. Okay. From this class will introduce you to early civilizations to the part where it's written as a result of the arrival of agriculture. Okay, that part is your main information. Very good. Now, what does the rest of the paragraph talk about? Of course, it gives you the main idea about, it gives you more information about the main idea. It gives you the supporting details, correct? Very good.
Yes.
Now, next part, skimming and scanning worksheet that you have. It's a very easy worksheet, okay? You just have to look at the course description again, and you have to match the paragraph numbers with the main ideas. It's very easy. Can you do it for homework, you think?
Yeah, I can.
You can, right? It's very easy. Okay. Now we are going to move to speaking. Okay. We have done the lesson number 1 for reading. We are going to move to speaking. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to open the PPT and share the screen. Now this is a very easy chapter again, okay? And as it's the first one, it just gives you an introduction of how to listen and where to listen when you have your integrated tasks for speaking. Okay, so just 1 minute. I'm going to share the handout also with you. Okay, now in this, the topic is lifestyles and interests. Now, lifestyles, you already might know the meaning of it, correct? And interests, when we talk about our own interests. Okay, that's what we are talking about. Now, here we are going to see how to describe familiar people, places, and objects. If you remember in the first task that you have in speaking, you have to talk about, you will be given a familiar topic and you have to talk based on that topic. Correct? So, that's what we are
Yeah.
going to look at of what are the things that we are going to talk about when we talk about familiar people and places and objects, and how we are going to talk about it mainly. What are the wordings that we can use? Okay. And then we are going to understand the independent speaking task type. That is, of course, the way I said, it's the first task. And then we are going to look at how to sustain speech at an even pace for a short time. Now, you remember I had told you we get 45 seconds to speak, but that doesn't mean that we speak very fast. Okay, you have to speak at a proper pace, at a short pace or even pace, even in that short time. Just because you have 45 seconds, that doesn't mean you try to say 2000 words in those time. Okay, in that time, in those seconds. So, that is the reason we are going to look at how to work on your speech also over here. Now, first thing that we have over here is your TOEFL tip. In TOEFL tip, you have what your test looks like, basically that you might be asked to talk about your hometown, your school, your interests, your friends, and other information about yourself. So you have two examples of the tasks that you might see. Okay, first one is, which of the clubs would you be most interested in joining? The cooking club, film club, or music club? Okay, then the other type of question could be, some people think music education should focus on classical music. Others think the focus should be on pop music. Which do you think is more important and why? So if you see, first one talks about your preference. Correct? The second one talks about the general idea, common idea. It's not general but common idea. So when you talk about the first task, it's not necessary that you talk about cooking club also, film club also, and music club also. You stick to any one. That is, say if you like film club or you like music club, then you stick to music club and you talk about music club in those 45 seconds by explaining your main idea and your supporting details. Okay, of why you would prefer that. You don't have to talk about cooking club and film club then. Okay, and same way for your task 2, if you focus on any one idea over there, you don't have to try to explain the other idea. The way they have said, answer the questions referring to your own life. For the first example task, you could make a choice based on your own interest and then explain your decision. Also over there, you could give your own examples, that when I was in first year, or when I was in, we call it first year, whatever you call it at your place, you could say that word and you could say that when I was in college, I participated in music club and I enjoyed it. We used to conduct events for the college. You could go ahead and explain. Okay, depending on your choice and your examples. Now, support your opinions by giving details and examples from your own experiences. In the second example task, you could provide some benefits of learning about either classical or pop music based on the things that you have experienced or seen. Okay, that's how you will cater to these tasks. Understood? Next. Now, here you're going to listen to a student conversation. Now, pay attention when you listen to it, I would say. Okay? It's a very short conversation.
Listen to a conversation between two students at a student.
Is it audible clearly?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wait a
Listen to a conversation between two students at a student welcoming fair. I'm Joe. What's your name?
Hi, Joe. My name's Amy.
Cool. So where are you from?
I'm actually from this area. I grew up here, in New York. And you? Where are you from?
Oh, nice. I'm from Chicago.
Chicago? That's really interesting. I've never been there. So, are you a freshman too?
Do I look that young? Actually, I've already studied here for 3 years. I'm a junior.
Really? You're a junior? What do you study?
I study engineering. You know, the really exciting stuff.
Well, that is exciting and important. I want to study biology because I'd like to be a doctor. My parents work at a hospital, and I've always found their work really interesting. But I think it's going to be a tough 4 years for me.
I'm sure you'll be fine. Just remember to relax when you can. Oh, and explore your interests. Join some clubs or something. What do you like to do?
Yeah, I like to swim. I was at the Student Athletic Center earlier today, and the pool there is huge, so I'm happy.
Yeah, it is. I enjoy swimming too. I actually go to the pool about 4 times a week because it's important to stay active and healthy. So you only like swimming?
Honestly, I'm a pretty simple person. In my spare time, I enjoy swimming or running, or I like to sit down with a good book. I think reading is super relaxing. I'd like to read more.
You sound like a healthy person to me. But really, join a club or two. Get out and try new things. You won't regret it.
Yeah, you're right. I enjoy trying new things, like joining a club on campus. New experiences can help us learn a lot about ourselves.
minute. Okay. So that's how a conversation should be, and that's how the pace should be of talking. Okay, it shouldn't be very fast also, and it shouldn't be very slow also. That becomes very, very important. Now, here you have some questions. Here I'm going to play the conversation again. Have you noted any points, or do you want me to play the conversation again?
No.
You remember?
Yeah, remember.
Okay. Try to mark the answers then. Which topics do you hear the students talk about? You just have to tell me.
Hobbies,
Hobbies, okay.
age, student clubs,
Age, student club.
hometowns, measures.
Okay, they talk about hobbies, they talk about names, they do not talk about the age, they talk about which year they are in. Okay, then they talk about
Yeah.
student clubs, then they talk about hometowns and the majors. Okay. Very good. Now, here I'm going to play the conversation again, and you have to take specific information to fill out the information about them in the given table. Okay. Basically, hometown, age or year that they mention, then the study interest, hobbies, and the reasons for the hobbies that they give. Okay. You have to try to write down that information. I'm going to play the conversation.
Listen to a conversation between two students at a student welcoming fair. I'm Joe. What's your name?
Hi, Joe. My name's Amy.
Cool. So where are you from?
I'm actually from this area. I grew up here, in New York. And you? Where are you from?
Oh, nice. I'm from Chicago.
Chicago? That's really interesting. I've never been there. So, are you a freshman too?
Do I look that young? Actually, Actually, I've already studied here for 3 years. I'm a junior.
Really? You're a junior? What do you study?
I study engineering. You know, the really exciting stuff.
Well, that is exciting and important. I want to study biology because I'd like to be a doctor. My parents work in a hospital, and I've always found their work really interesting. But I think it's going to be a tough 4 years for me.
I'm sure you'll be fine. Just remember to relax when you can. Oh, and explore your interests. Join some clubs or something. What do you like to do?
Yeah, I like to swim. I was at the Student Athletic Center earlier today, and the pool there is huge, so I'm happy.
Yeah, it is. I enjoy swimming too. I actually go to the pool about 4 times a week because it's important to stay active and healthy. So you only like swimming?
Honestly, I'm a pretty simple person. In my spare time, I enjoy swimming or running, or I like to sit down with a good book. I think reading is super relaxing. I'd like to read more.
You sound like a healthy person to me. But really, join a club or two. Get out and try new things. You won't regret it.
Yeah, you're right. I enjoy trying new things, like joining a club on campus. New experiences can help us learn a lot about ourselves.
Okay, have you got all the information?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say the answers. Check it at your side. Okay, hometown, Amy, New York, Joe, Chicago. Okay, year, Amy, freshman, and Joe is junior. Study interest, biology and engineering. Hobbies, Amy, swimming, running, and reading a good book. And then Joe talks about swimming. The reasons for their hobbies are reading is super relaxing, that's what Amy thinks, and it is important to stay active and healthy, that's what Joe thinks. All answers correct?
Yes, except age and year.
Age and year, okay. You didn't get that part. Okay, no worries. Yeah. It's freshman for Amy and Joe for junior for Joe. Okay. Now, asking for and giving your basic details. How do we give that? Now, whenever you ask someone any details, you of course start your questions by making a proper question structure. Correct? You ask your question either with your helping verbs, that is your yes and no question, or you ask questions by using WH question words. What, where, how. Correct? If you're talking about age, you will ask how old are you or which year are you in. If you're talking about hometown, you will say where are you from. If you're talking about study, what do you study or what do you like studying? That's how you will say it. What are your hobbies or what do you like reading? That is how you're going to say it. Correct? Now, for homework, I'm going to share this audio with you. For homework, what you will do is try to write down the phrases that they used. Okay, it will give you a basic idea of how you can phrase your sentences when you're talking about your preferences, your opinions in the exam. That is mainly for your first task, first independent task. Okay, now we are not going to do this exercise, which is student interviews. You can try this if you have some friends around. You can try using the same phrases and asking them questions and then writing down the information that they give you. Okay, that is one activity, one fun activity that you can try with your friends or your classmates or any colleagues that you have who are very good with you. You can try this if possible. It's an optional exercise. Okay, just to understand how people speak, just to understand different accents. Okay, because when you speak in real life, it's a little different. Correct? That's the reason. So you should be able to grasp it. Now we are done with reading lesson 1 and speaking lesson 1. Speaking lesson 1 was little easier. That's why we tried to cover it on the same day of reading. Usually one lesson takes a lot of time, but we tried to do it because you have your exam on 21st. So we have almost 10 lessons which we have to finish before that along with our mock tests. So I'm trying to cover it as much as possible for you. Okay. Yes. Any questions? Anything that you did not understand?
No, everything's clear.
Everything is clear. Okay, great. I would say keep practicing. That's very, very important. Okay. Yes. Okay, then we'll stop over here. I will see you tomorrow with some more lessons.
See you. Thank
See
you.
you. Have a great day ahead. Bye.
Later.